Alright, hello everybody and welcome to round number 5, I believe. We are here at the Spanish GP. We're here at Catalonia. We've got 14 drivers in today, and there's going to be 18 minutes of qualifying, and then a 50% race. Let's load up all the telemetry. And it looks to be extremely sunny at the moment. No, doesn't look like to be rain. Right, okay. Who's coming out on track at the moment? I believe that's a Sabatino. And then you've got the Mercedes coming out, that is Connor. Connor has been absolutely unstoppable in qualifying for the past 5 rounds, 6 rounds. Let me just check what round this is before I continue. This is round number 5. For the past 4 rounds, Connor has gone every single pole position. So let's see if Connor can do that again, because I don't think anyone's gone near him. But Tino's the first one out on track. Hella high in the Ferrari, also out on track, along with Elmo and the V-carb of, I believe that is Jacek, and everyone else is slowly making their way out of the pits and onto the track. Tino will be the first one, however, making his way towards the final corner. Will deploy his IRS now, and we'll get underway. There's enough time in this qualifying session due to how short the lap times are to do 3 flying laps on soft compound tyres. So we could see 3 attempts from every single one of these drivers if they choose to use all of their soft tyres. Just get the what's happening here. Okay. Right. Hello. And Tino has invalidated his lap. Right. Let's go switch to Connor, who hasn't invalidated just yet, making his way towards the hairpin. Unsurprisingly, purple sector 2, considering he's the only person to set a lap time sector 2. To go through sector 2, I mean, so far. Tino goes into the pits. Connor will go through the final corner. And this is the benchmark. The man who has had 4 pole positions in 4 rounds. It's 11.6 for the Mercedes driver. The next car that will come across the line is Hella High, who has invalidated this lap, so he won't be completing this one. Then we got Elmo. And Elmo will go through the last corner, revving up in 6th gear, comes across the line. It's a 12 dead, 4 tenths slower than Mercedes. And then the V-carb of Jacek will come across the line now. What can Jacek do? He's impressed well in Monaco before retiring. It's an 11.9, and then it is the Donster who goes through in the 13.8. It's a slow lap for the Ferrari. Yes, Sharon with a 14.2. Pink Eye Penguin. These two, Connor and Pink Eye Penguin, are championship rivals right now, split by 1 singular point. Pink Eye Penguin going with a 12 dead. Lellers came across the line with a 12.9. And the McLaren or Star Defender is starting his outlap. Connor will be coming into the pits of the Mercedes, who is on a lap at the moment. I believe it's Kears, the Red Bull teammate. We'll come across the line now. Kears will come in 5th with a 12.4. And there are a few other drivers. Borski in the Haas is on a slow lap. He won't be doing a fast one this time. Backas is just starting one. Star Defender in the middle of one. Just going through the drivers who haven't set proper lap times just yet. And Star Defender is one of them. A lot of drivers. Oh, a Motu Solver has crashed at the pit lane. Something has happened to Motu Solver. He must have hit the wall that splits the track at the pit lane. And that's the end of qualifying for the Williams driver. That's not what he wanted at all. It's only been 5 minutes of qualifying. And it wasn't an impressive lap to start with. I don't believe that was intentional. Oh dear, okay. Well, let's go back to the McLaren, who invalidated this lap, so he didn't set one. Backass says he's got a purple sector 2 in the game. I don't really believe that. Unless Backass has something to show for it. And we'll come across the line now. It's a 13.3. 7th place for the Haas. Tino, who was the first car out on track, invalidated on his first push lap. He goes out again. And what can the Sauber driver do? The only Sauber driver in today is a 50.4 cumulative between sectors 1 and 2. I believe that was an improvement for Yeshun, who goes with a 13.6, goes into P8. Tino will come across the line now. And it looks to be 11.8, and that puts him up into P3. It's a very good lap for the Sauber. 2 tenths ahead of Pink Eye Penguin. Just under a tenth behind the V car with Jesek. And that's everyone apart from Star Defender Hella High to set a lap time with around 11 minutes to go. So, let's see. So Hella High will be starting his lap now. Is there anybody else on the lap at the moment? We can go to Jesek, who is not doing a fast lap at the moment. Elmo's on an out lap. The Alpine just set a lap. Tino is that okay? So we'll just go focus on Hella High. He sets a 21.5 in the first sector. Making his way down to turn. This is 5. The Ferrari driver making up the most positions in Monaco. A race of attrition. He'll want to do a good lap with 10 minutes left of the session remaining. I believe that is either of, well, that's either of the 2 Red Bulls on an out lap right now. And Hella High will go through the final 2 corners to set its first lap time of the session. And it will be a 12.6. It's 7th place as Pink Eye Penguin starts his flying lap. Connor goes back. Well, he was already in first position. He's done that 11.5, and he's improved on what was already a good lap. Now he's 2 tenths clear away from Jesek. Let's check. Elmo in 5th place on none. He's backed out somewhere on this lap, so he will not be setting a fast one. In fact, he's 1 second slower. So Star Defender's out on the fly, out on the out lap. Got the house. Let's have a look. Pink Eye Penguin, who's improved on his lap by, oh, and he spun. He was improving by just less than a tenth. But the Red Bull spinning out on the exit of the hairpin and has to let all the other cars by. That corner right there is so hard to get right on the exit. Try to go as early as possible, and will making his way back into the pits. Here's now. The Red Bull teammate will come across the line. It will be a 3.5 temp improvement. It makes him 6. He was already 6 to begin with, but he has improved his lap time with 12.1. 5 tenths clear of leathers. Elmo going back into the pit. No, he's starting another one. He's fueled up his car to go again. Star Defender still hasn't set a lap time just yet. It's a 50.9 when you combine the first 2 sectors. And now the McLaren will come through the final 2 corners. The only driver to not set a lap time yet. And it will be a 12.6. It's 8th place. Vorski in the Haas car. We were 26. That was a slow lap. And he will do a proper lap this time. It's a 12.8. Puts him into 10th, just ahead of his teammate. Connor still was doing another lap. Apparently he fueled his car a lot. And he will improve this lap time because it's a 10.5 improvement. And it solidifies it even more for provisional pole. It's an 11.4. As the 2 Ferraris decide to meet with each other on track. 3.5 temps, splitting first and second at the moment. Connor is very quick in qualifying. First 4 rounds of the season, four pole positions in a row. No one can match his pace at the moment. Let's go to... who's on the flyer? Letters in Spain. Donster. Not on the flyer. No one's on the flyer at the moment with 6 minutes left to go. Everyone is either on a slowdown or an outlap at the moment. One of those drivers on outlap is Hella High, who is currently just 2 tenths behind his teammate, but the difference between 2 tenths, difference in positions that 2 tenths make, is 3. So Hella High will start a lap once again as Donster and Connor pit in with 5.5 minutes left to go. Is Elmo on the lap? No, he's going back into the pits now, I assume. Yep, okay. It's 1 temp improvement for the Ferrari. That will put him into 8th at the moment, but he can also further improve in these last few sectors. Oh. I think I've been... And Hella High. We'll come through the final 2 corners now. With 4 minutes left to go. Just about keeping him in between the right lines, but he does not improve. It's 100 slower than his PB at the moment. Tino, who's currently just 3/4 of the temp up on his lap time, is in 3rd place. He could go into 2nd if this lap is well combined together. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. At all. That's not what I wanted, Jesus. Tino goes a little bit faster. He will need just 80 thousandths of a second to go ahead of P2. Salva will go through the final corner. And will it be enough? It is enough. Just under a tenth, beating Jessek to go into 2nd place at the moment. 16 thousandths faster than than 2nd. I crashed at pit entry. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see it, but I saw it on the minimap. You must have hit the wall just between the pit lane and the racetrack. So that's what I assumed happened. which I assume was not on purpose. Let's go to the Haas, who is not on the flyer. Warski. The Alpine of Yeshan, not on the fly as well. People, there is just under 3 minutes left to go. Went full throttle, forgot there was a barrier there. Yeah. 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 Alright. So, Warski and Yeshan. Let's see who's the first person that will be setting a final flying lap. Will be the Alpine, as Tino comes into the pits. Haven't touched this track since the first month of the game. Yeah, fair enough. The Alpine, currently a 13.6. 13th place at the moment. Probably not where he wants to be. We'll see if this is a decent improvement up in Sector 1. And it's a 21.7. It's barely... It's not an improvement so far. Both the Ferraris out on outlaps. Lellis has left the session. Suboptimal. Wish me luck in T1. Wish you luck in T1. Wish everyone luck in T1. We don't want us to have a 4-car pile up. Now I said that, it's probably going to be a jinx. Anyway. Let's see if the Alpine can improve in Sector 2. And it's not an improvement in Sector 2 either. And the Alpine, it's been a slower lap than his PB so far. 5 tenths slower than 12th. And Yeshun will come across the line. It's just a half a tenth improvement, and that's not going to be enough to improve in terms of positions. Let's go to Bacchus, who I believe had a bit of a slipstream from the Red Bull of either Pink Eye Penguin or Kiers now. Bacchus would like to gain ahead of his team. Oh, he's had a bit of a moment on exit. And any hope of improving, maybe going down the drain. And he hasn't. Okay, those two Red Bulls are starting out. Star Defender has improved by 5 temps, and this could propel him up. And he has improved by 5 temps. And it makes him go into 7th place. A very good lap time. I've just noticed that Elmo and Pink Eye Penguin have the exact same lap time. That is very impressive. Let's go. Which Ferrari is that? I believe that was Donster, but he's invalidated. Orski, Star Defender retiring on track. The finishing flag. Oh, and that's the Haas. And that's Brogan's front wing, and that's his qualifying done for the session. Taking the old chicane for good measure. Jesek in 3rd place. Has invalidated his lap time, so this isn't going to be a proper lap. Here's now just behind. Would like to improve by just maybe a 10th. And it will be. It'll put him ahead of Pink Eye Penguin so far. As Kiers now goes with 11.8, a very good lap time. Kiers and Pink Eye Penguin will come across the line with 11.6, just 2.5 tenths behind Connor. Both championship contenders lining up in the front row. And that will be your grid. It's Connor once again on pole position. Pink Eye Penguin in 2nd, Tino in 3rd place, Jesek in 4th, Piers in 5th, Elmo in 6th, Star Defender in 7th, both the Ferraris in 8th and 9th, Hella High and Donster. Lillers, who just left the session, is in 10th place, Haas is 11th and 12th, Warski and Bacchus, Yeshern and Motu Solver, who crashed at the pit lane or pit entry, lining up 14th. go and focus on do the race. Jeez. We're going for, I believe it's 33 laps, a 50% race. It should be an entertaining one. Fingers crossed. No formation lap. We're gonna have a little bit of time for everyone to change their setup slightly within Parc Ferme, change race strategy, change fuel, all sorts. I believe that you can do a one-stop around Spain. It just requires tyre saving. And a lot of tyre saving. Mediums barely last over 11 laps here. And then you have to go like 22 laps on hard compound tyres. Tyre saving. The hards are, in my opinion, are actually decent around this track compared to the mediums. Mediums just wear too fast to even warrant anything. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. Interesting start over here. Soft compound tires in every single driver. I don't imagine that this is what everyone's starting on. If they do, this could be a much more exciting race. Some drivers may attempt to go for a 2-stop. Some drivers will attempt to go to 1-stop. It's quite a flexible strategy here because with a 2-stop, you just push as hard as hell. Ready up at 24 past, according to Hello Hi. So internet, yeah. So Lella's just got disconnected because of internet though. Okay. Let's focus on some drivers. So some drivers starting on mediums. So I believe drivers are readying up now. And when we go onto the grid, it will be 5 lights. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get underway for IRS round 5. And Connor gets a decent start. I can't see the camera angle, and Connor will lead the way, but the Sauber Tino has an equally good start. Goes side by side into turn 1, and Pink Eye Penguin tries to go down the inside, and Tino will be challenging the Red Bull, and Jacek will be challenging the Sauber. Tino goes really wide and has lost a position to the V-Carb. Jacek will hang back as the Red Bull of Kirsnau and the Sauber Tino go side by side through turn 4. And Tino has lost 2 positions where he could be looking for 2nd place. Elmer in 6th at the moment. Currently pushing along Tino, who's had a struggling start at the moment. So let's open up every single one of these tyre strategies. And it's all mediums except for the Alpine of Yeshen. As Donster will try to go around the outside of the McLaren and isn't able to. Star Defender in 7th place. Let's focus back on the front because Jacek currently 3 tenths behind Pink Eye Penguin. The dirty air through the final 2 corners. Really not helping favours whatsoever. But Jacek is extremely close to the Red Bull. And he's got front wing damage with a collision with the rear end. That V-Carb has front wing damage, and that allows Kirsnau to go around the outside, now the inside of turn 3. And it's a double Red Bull podium at the moment. And Jacek, who looked to be challenging for 2nd, now all the way down in 5th and could be falling even further. Tino going up into 4th, looking for a move on Kirsnau, but holding back. That's Tino now behind the Red Bull. Elmo going a little bit snappy on the exit, and that allows Star Defender to go through. Jacek still in 5th place, but does have front wing damage, and that will be making a train with everyone below the top 5 following it. So let's focus back on the front because DRS will now be enabled. Kiers now getting the fastest lap of the session. Lap 3 starting now, and Star Defender will go up into 5th. A relatively easy move for the McLaren. And Jessic will be hurting through turn 3. A lack of downforce on the front end now, going extremely wide, and Elmo can take advantage of this very easily. Holds back for turn 4, goes a little bit wide mid-corner, but now has to be patient behind the V-carb. Jessic still just within DRS. Can use that to defend. As Williams and Motu Solver has gone up to 9th place in the moment, starting from P14. Jessic no longer within DRS range, as Jessic goes straight into the pit lane. So, let's focus back on towards the front. Tino right behind the Red Bull. Wants to get back to his starting position. He didn't like those medium tyres at the start. He likes them now because they're fired up. Let's focus on the Sauber, because this is pretty much the closest battle out on track. Elmo needs to pick up the pace if he wants to catch up to this DRS train. Star Defender now has joined the DRS. Hello, train. Let's see. Motu Solver in 8th place, right behind the Donster. Donster no longer within DRS of Elmo. Could be an easy move for the Williams driver, but let's focus back onto 4th place. And Tino's backed away from Kiers now just very slightly. Something must have happened there. And let's go to the Williams driver, who will go around the outside. It's a move done before the first corner. Motu Solver up into 7th. The train is still here with Connor leading it. It's a Mercedes, Red Bull and Red Bull for the top 3. These tyres, it depends what strategy everyone's going to go on, but one stop is definitely possible at Catalunya. As we make our way to lap 6, as Bacchus has spun on the exit. And something must have happened there. It's so easy to do so, and now they're going side by side with the Alpine. Bacchus doesn't want to let the Alpine through. And now Bacchus is way behind the rest of the pack. The train is still at the front. As Yeshen comes into the pit, starts on the soft, the gamble didn't work out. And Yeshen will be in last place after coming out into the pit lane, out of the pits. Ella High is way back to the pack. Something must have happened to him at the start. A Star Defender has slightly dropped back from DRS. The Tier 2 driver doing impressively well in the top 5 of Tier 1 at the moment. Motusolva now within DRS range of Elmo. Elmo doesn't have the help of DRS, just not being able to obtain it. Over 1 second behind Star Defender, now within a second, but as you can see, the Aston Martin's rear wing is close shut. But even then, Motusolva isn't close enough to get a move done. This train. How long will it go for before someone finally clicks and will attempt to do either an undercut or stay out or an overcut? Because the strategy is what will make and break any of these drivers. They're running so close together that an undercut could propel them up towards the front. Motusolva and Elmo have catched up to Star Defender. Star Defender now dropping back. He was 1 second behind Tino the previous lap. Now it's 2.2, and Elmo will have the help of DRS. And it looks to be an easy move because Star Defender, Pink Eye Penguin will be the first one to click. Pink Eye Penguin, one of the championship contenders, hitting from from second place, as Motusolva will try and go down the inside of Star Defender. And Star Defender, there's contact in turn 1. And the Williams driver has to stand back. Oh, almost losing it in turn 3. Elmo getting past Star Defender before turn 1. Motusolva trying to go down the inside of the McLaren. Didn't work out. Contact. But Pink Eye Penguin comes out now with the hard compound tyres, making those hards last longer than 25 laps. That will be an interesting case if he does decide to do a 1-stop, but I believe he's going to do a 2-stop, and now we'll be pushing like hell to make up for lost time. Like, what is it, like 20, 19 seconds in the pit lane? What will Connor do? Will Connor follow Pink Eye Penguin in? Nope, he continues on. And Gears now and Tina will continue on once again. Elmo now within the top 4. And the battle between the McLaren and Williams will start again, but I think this time the Williams driver, Motusolva, will find it more easier to overtake into turn 1, side by side. Star Defender not particularly fighting it out. The Donster will come into the pit lane. The Ferrari driver will pit onto the hard compound tyres, as well as Backass, who I believe will also be pitting into hards. The field has now got a little bit spread out. Here's now 2 seconds behind the race leader. Tino is just 4.5 tenths, 3 tenths behind Red Bull. Pink Eye Penguin pitting pretty early. When these top 3 drivers pit, Pink Eye Penguin will be further ahead, but these 3 guys might be planning to stay out just a little bit longer, as Jacek and the Donster are fighting out through turn 5, and there's contact between and banging wheels. Jacek will be going for a switchback. The Ferrari not relenting, and finally Jacek will stay in 10th, or go ahead in 10th. Tino is right behind Gears now, not making the move, and something has happened to Hella High. Hella High has spun out. Very easy to do on that corner, to be fair. And it's not a good race for the other Ferrari driver. Let's go to Tino. The battle for second place rages on. Tino will be getting frustrated behind the Red Bull. Not enjoying seeing the rear wing, I imagine. 2 temps split the 2 drivers. And Kears now will let the Sauber driver through. playing an interesting tactic there. Let's focus on the P5 because I imagine that those two won't be battling on the next lap. O2 Solver just half a tenth behind. Elmo does not have the help of DRS. The Williams driver will be deploying overtake. The Aston can't really fight this out. Elmo will try to go for a slight defensive move, but the Williams will get through before the end of the straight. Whereas, let's go to the battle. Let's go to the gap to the leader. Pink Eye Penguin now 19.4 seconds behind the race leader. Pink Eye Penguin was in second place before he pitted. Lap 11 now. The medium tyres are coming to the end of the expiry date. Let's go into towards Pink Eye Penguin. Half a tenth behind the Haas on significantly older medium compound tyres. And the Red Bull is just agonizingly being patient, I imagine. And the Red Bull will maybe, or maybe not, get swiftly past the Haas locking up, so there's the Red Bull. But it's a done move. And we're in lap 12 now. No one apart from... Oh, Leles is now pitted, but... Oh, that's an AI car, is it? Oh, no, it's not an AI car. Okay. Leles pits. And now we'll be coming out... Pitting onto the mediums now. It's now just being patient. Behind the Sauber. Will any of these medium runners come to finally pit? If they do, where will they come out? Connor, 3.4 seconds up in front. And Elmo is now out of DRS range to Motu Solver. Will Connor come to pit in this lap? Nope, continues on. Does Tino do anything? No. So does Red Bull. No one is coming in to pit this lap. Oh, Star Defender does. The Tier 2 driver coming into the pits. The reserve. For today's race. Has been pretty much a Tier 1 driver. Honestly, he's been reserving for every single race, practically. And comes out on the hard compound tyres. So that is probably the early tick. The drivers who are planning to do a one-stop strategy. Star Defender now on hard compound tyres. Has to make them last 20 laps, which isn't impossible to do. Let's go. Let's go into 9th place because Star Defender has come out just in front of a battle between the V-Car and Ferrari. Desek on 9-lap-old hards, Donster on 4-lap-old hards. Desek now has the McLaren front. Can be useful with DRS, and there's a yellow flag, and that is Hella High, who has retired from the session. And it will be a full course safety car. A full-blown safety car because Hella High retires on the exit of turn 1. Something drastic must have happened there, and that allows Motu Solver and Elmo to come straight into the pits. And that means that Star Defender is incredibly unlucky, considering he's one of the only drivers to come pit in. This allows the medium compound runners who have lasted this long for an easy pit stop, and for Pink Eye Penguin, he didn't want that at all. He comes and pits it onto the soft compound tyres, which is an inspired strategy, to say the least. No one else has come out on the softs. The Red Bull probably just had was immediately deflated probably because of the Ferrari driver retiring. This is not what Pink Eye Penguin wanted in the slightest. So the top three, who just was on the main straight when Hella High retired from the session, Connor will no doubt be coming into the pits. So will Tina and so will Kiz now. For their probably one and only stop if things go to plan. But Pink Eye Penguin, oh dear. Out on soft compound tyres, he will have to pit again. There's no way he can make them last anything longer than 10 laps. So, it could be a struggle here and out. So, the Williams driver of Motosolver not coming out ahead of the top three. And I believe, is that a lapped car? Okay, a lapped car just goes ahead. And now Connor behind the safety car, and so will everyone else. Pink Eye Penguin goes straight back into the pits. Probably a mistake, to be fair. And will come back out on hard compound tyres. Are these fresh hard compound tyres? They are. So that must mean that Pink Eye Penguin must have made a mistake when selecting the tyre, because that was definitely unplanned. And he's basically in plumb last. There's around 10 cars to overtake before he goes back up into second place. Might be a comeback drive with 18 laps to go, and probably even smaller because of how long the safety car will be staying up for. There could be only around 16 laps maybe, if he's lucky. So we'll see what happens. The beneficiary of that safety car was definitely everyone who didn't pit in until now. But even then, drivers like Star Defender not really losing position if at all. So, not really a game changer for the McLaren, who came with one lap before. MFD throws on softs for fuck's sake. Yeah. Okay, that's incredibly unfortunate. I imagine that there was a mistake. I was really surprised when he came on the soft compound tyres, to be fair. Now down in 12th. We'll have to gain up to quite a few cars. Yeah, it's the podium places. And this probably won't be the final lap until the safety car comes in. The Alpine just overtook the safety car when Connor was lining up. So, could be 2 more laps, maybe 1. Let's see. Leller's is on 4 lap old mediums. He won't be able to go to the end. There's, oh dear, no, there's like 20, oh god, 17 laps left to go. 21 laps on the mediums. It'll be hard, but dare I say impossible. Oh, the Haas drifting through the corner. Probably unplanned, to say the least. So everyone now lining up apart from Pink Eye Penguin. And safety car is in this lap, and Pink Eye Penguin is nowhere near the queue. One of the championship contenders is way behind the rest of the pack, 17 seconds behind the Donster. And will be desperate to gain back positions. Look at that. Nah, he's fine. He'll be fine. Everyone is slowing down. If Connor was really wanted to be evil, the other championship contender, he could have just sped right away. But no, he's going to take it slow to let the safety car come into the pit lane. He's led every single lap so far. It's lap 16. And we'll get underway for lap 17. We're just under halfway through this race, and Connor is taking his sweet time getting started. And we'll go underway now. I believe that's caught Tino slightly off guard. It has. And that allows Kiers now to go side by side. And Motosolver will get into the action as well. On board on Motosolver. Motosolver will try to go around the outside of the Red Bull. Backs out of it to turn 1. And Tino still in second place. Motosolver will be looking to go round the outside. No, he doesn't. As Donster will get ahead of Bacchus. Motosolver into third place, going down the inside of Kiers now. And Motosolver now in the podium places, but Kiers now is not fighting. No, I mean, not giving this up, and is still fighting into turn 5. And will not be able to get past or keep his place. As Jacek will go ahead of Warski to go into 8th place. And Pink Eye Penguin slowly making his way up the places at the moment. But let's focus back on the lead because, oh god, Kiers now and Star Defender are fighting. Star Defender going round the outside, not being able to get the move done. And this is an impressive drive so far for the McLaren. The IRS is now enabled. Lelis and Jacek will be fighting out the two teammates, going side by side through the start-finish straight. And Jacek, who did qualify in third place, mind you, or 4th place, I can't even remember at this point, had wing damage. Now up into 7th place. Good recovery drive so far. And we're back in the good old DRS train. This time with one of the championship contenders fighting through the field as Warski pushes the Red Bull out wide. Not what the Red Bull wanted. Made a mistake on the MFD or the MFD throws. A bit onto the softs. And Red Bull not being able to get past the Haas at the moment. Here's now just under 4 tenths behind the Williams. The Williams will not have the benefit of DRS going onto the main straight. It could well be easy for the Red Bull. Connor sets the fastest lap of the session. Motosolver not having the DRS. Pink Eye Penguin will get past the Haas driver, but we're focusing on the battle for the podium places. Kiers now looks to go down the inside, backs out of it. Something's happened to the Haas driver of Warski. Pink Eye Penguin now has 1.6 seconds up to gain to catch up to the V-carb of Lellers. Tino half a tenth behind Honda. Motosolver 1.5 seconds behind the Kiers Tino as yellow flag in turn 1 and 2. That's Warski. This is a terrible camera angle. And we're going to focus on P9 because the man who qualified second is down in 9th but is gaining rapidly. There's 14 laps including this, not including this one to go. Here's 3 tenths splitting him and the podium place. Star Defender. Donster gets past Bacchus in at the hairpin. But now we're going to focus on the DRS straight. Connor sets another fastest lap, unsurprisingly. Here's using all of the overtake. Motosolver defending on the inside, stays on the inside, as the Red Bull will be looking to go down the inside and going to be side by side contact! And Kiers now will make contact with the McLaren, half spinning the Red Bull has. And that was not what the Red Bull wanted in the slightest. Pink Eye Penguin gets past the V-carb of Lellers. Pink Eye Penguin now in 6th place, locking up and slightly going wide through turn 5. Elmo now within just over half a tenth of Jacek for the Red Bull of Pink Eye Penguin. We'll be looking to get past these two. Warski has left the session and Star Defender has retired from the Grand Prix, and it's a virtual safety car this time, and that allows everyone to just compose themselves. Something what's happened there. Lellers goes straight into the pit, so does Kiers. So will the Haas of Bacchus. What was that? And Tino gets a drive-through penalty. The man in second place gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. And any chance of battling for the lead has been vanquished. The Sauber driver sent to Narnia in the pit lane will come out basically in 10th place. Gut-wrenching. Elmo 6 tenths behind Pink Eye Penguin. Pink Eye Penguin has come back in magnificent fashion here with the help of a few contacts and battles. Has got Jessica in front, who isn't within DRS yet. But could be. You leave me no space. Yeah, I mean, we saw that battle out on track, but that was an off-board view. I have no idea exactly what happened. That's going to go straight to the stewards. So, Pink Eye Penguin is a man on the mission, gaining immensely behind the V-Carb. And the Red Bull would just be loving to see this V-Carb in his wing mirrors right now. I'm curious, yeah, we saw it from an off-board view, but that's going to be sent to the stewards almost immediately. That's their decision to make. So, here's retiring from the Grand Prix. I just noticed that, unfortunately. That was a hectic few laps. Jacek within DRS of Motu Solver. And the train is starting to form behind the Williams. Pink Eye still on for a possible P2, absolutely. Tina will have to serve his drive-through penalty at some point. That was a good place for me, it was. Pink Eye Penguin gets a 3-second time penalty. One of the only driver to have a corner cutting penalty right now. Track limits penalty, I mean. And that could impact his chances for P2. Tino drive for a Motorsoul possible time band. Yep, absolutely. Jacek could go well on for P2 as well. Jacek is not particularly slow in the slightest. I said it to stewards. You just jinxed him. I know you jinxed him. I'm sure. Is that you, Hella? Okay. So, Pink Eye Penguin, with 3 seconds worth of time penalties, has to overtake Jacek and get ahead of him by 3 times if he wants to stay in P2. And the IRS once again for the 3 drivers behind. Elmo is now with a chance, and a very likely chance, of a podium here. The Aston Martin driver just hanging back slightly, not getting involved with any sort of instance whatsoever so far. It's been a very calm race. But we're getting back onto the pit straight. Tino comes to serve his drive-through penalty. Jacek deploying all the overtake, all of the ERS, staying within the slipstream, and the V-Carb will not go down the inside. Definitely does think of it this lap. He knew what happened to Kiers now. Doesn't want the same thing happening to him. As Yeshun comes to the pits with 10 lap on mediums. Everyone who now survives will get a point, I believe, if the point system is the same one as in real life. I forget sometimes. This small train. Connor's gone far away. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of P2 at the moment. Could well on to be a grand slam here at Catalonia. P1 to P15 on points. Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. 30 for the win. Yeah. Yeah. And Jacek is slightly fading away from the Williams here, but that could not matter in the slightest because Jacek has saved up the ERS and battery ERS and battery. DRS and battery to catch up on the main straight, but it's not going to be enough on this lap in particular. With 8 laps, not including this one, left to go. The battle for the podium is between these 4 drivers. Jessic, 4.5 tenths behind. And we're going to, it's an incredibly short lap around Spain, so now we're back on the DRS straight. Very, very soon Star Defender leaves. Honestly, yeah, I know. Jessic deploying the DRS, deploying the overtake. What can the V-Carb do? The V-Carb will go for it. There's that Motorsolver defense on the inside. And Motorsolver will brake late. It's contact, side by side, through turn 1. Pushes Jessic off the track. And that allows Pingo Penguin to get past. Motorsolver going out wide. Elmo getting past into P3. Contact at turns 1 and 2. The stewards will have another incident to think about for this battle for the podium. And now Pink Eye Penguin is 1.5 seconds ahead of Elmo. Has had a bump start because of that contact. And with enough pace, could stay in P2. Jessic being less out of the worst of those 2 drivers who made contact. Jessic still has a chance for the podium places if he does overtake Elmo. My tier 1 races are just seeing what lap I don't finish on so many DNFs. I would rather a tier 1 car than a tier 2, of course. Yeah, you're a tier 2 driver. Respectfully, of course, you're the main tier 2 driver. I'm not saying that like a number 2 driver. Anyway, Jessic will have the DRS. Good race, thank guys. Yeah. Yep. Alright. Jessic. Half a tenth. The battle's still on for P2 between these 3 drivers now. Because Pink Eye Penguin still has that... oh, that's Helena's at the final sector. Something's happened to the other V-Carb. And that will allow Backass to get past. Let's focus on to P4. Oh, let me at least watch them get past. And Lella's does get overtaken by Backass at turn 1. On a way too far ahead to even talk about it. I was expecting Pink Eye Penguin to pull away slightly more. He's just gained under 2 tenths same point last lap, compared to same point last lap. Jessic under 3 tenths. Elmo, you can see the rear of that car, that red LED just flashing, saving all of the ERS he can to try to defend on this main straight. And Jessic will deploy the DRS. Again, an overtake. He'll want this move to be a lot more easier compared to the overtake he tried to put on Motorsolver, and it is. It's a move done before the first corner. Elmo not particularly fighting that. And now Jessic, his only task now is to stay within 3 laps. 28 out of 33 laps. So that's going to be 6 laps left to go, including this one. 5 laps. Well, there's yellow flag, and that's Letters coming. He's slow. Something's happened again, and he's got front wing damage this time. Oh dear. Not what he wanted in the slightest, and that will allow Yeshen to overtake him. Elmo. 7 tenths. just wants to stay within DRS range. I don't imagine he wants to overtake. He's been very quiet, but being quiet has allowed him to get into this position where he can be on the podium. Because Pink Eye Penguin is not pulling away in the slightest, and he's currently in danger of finishing in P4 out of the podium places. With that 3-second time penalty, I do secretly want to check if Jessic and Elmo also have corner cut warnings or track limit warnings. Oh, Pink Eye Penguin getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 4. Does not want that at all, and that allows Jessic to catch up really, really quickly. He's gained 5 attempts and could be within DRS range here. Thank you for the commentary today, even if it wasn't the race I planned. We'll break the tier 1 curse on promoted for next season. Yeah, no worries, man. I just want to... I'm just trying to do my job here. But Jessic, with Pink Eye Penguin, getting a little bit squirrely on exit, is just under 8 tenths, and the Donster is going slowly. He's got front wing damage. The Ferrari driver, something's happened there. And that will allow Tino, who is feeling the effects of that drive-through, will get past through this corner, I imagine. But let's focus on to the battle for the P2. Jessic in non-ERS won't be going for a move on this lap. He doesn't really need to, of course. And there's even less of a chance of Pink Eye Penguin staying in the podium places because he's made that mistake. And if he's not careful, it could be P5 once Motu catches up to this train. On track, of course, because stewards... Oh, I just hit my microphone. The stewards will have to say something about the contacts at turns 1 and 2, 2 separate instants. So, 4.5 tenths splits. Second and third. Making their way once again. I think I've said. I think this is like a moment of deja vu. Back onto the DRS straight. Jessic going a little bit wide on exit. That could be a track limits warning. But I don't believe that Pink Eye Penguin is going to be fighting this much. As they go into turn 1 battling. Jessic gets past. And now it's P2 on the road for the V-Carb. Retired in Monaco, but had a decent qualifying performance. Oh, and Pink Eye Penguin was squaring up for a move. Wasn't able to do it. And now Elmo is very likely to finish in 3rd place. Something's happened to Pink Eye Penguin. He may, because I'm sure that he would not like the pace he's running at the moment, considering he's one of the championship contenders. And now we'll be going on to penultimate lap. Lellers gets the fastest lap on the soft compound tyres. We're back. DRS. Pink Eye Penguin will try to go around the outside through turn 1. And it will be slight contact between the two cars. But Jessic keeps the place at the moment. And Pink Eye Penguin is going Tokyo drifting through turn 3 into the gravel. And that is a bona fide P5. His tyres are shot, and it's gone. Elmo could go into P2 here. Corner dominance could bore fans. Absolutely. He's just trying to get some airtime at this point. I don't think we panned to corner at least more than twice on this race, considering the battle for the podiums was so close. Yes, it's like... Oh dear, oh dear, okay. 6/10 splits, second and third on the final lap. Elmo not fighting this at the moment though. Nellis gets a 3-second time penalty. You see Connor qualifying, you see Connor more times in qualifying than the race. That is so true. That is so true, but Connor will get the moments in the sun very, very soon because this battle is not relenting in the slightest. Caution in Sector 2, and that's one of the V-carves. That is Lella's, letting all the cars through. As Connor makes his way on the back straight. He's been utterly faultless this entire race. From pole to the flag, he stayed in the lead. Not second, not third even once. He stayed in first position, and that's a second full race win of the season for the Mercedes driver. And that will put him up on the championship lead. Definitely. And Elmo, something's happened for the battle for the podium places because what's happened here? What's happened here? Jacek has finished in 4th place. Elmo's up into 2nd. Motorsolver on the... What has happened? Jacek does not have a front wing. Anyway, Tito finishes in 6th. Backass in 7th with the... Yep. Donster will finish in 8th place, and Yeshern will finish in P9. What has happened? You know when I said that battle was just heating up between Elmo and Jacek? Something has happened, and that puts Jacek into 4th place. Connor winning with that car in the middle of the straight, but regardless, I think he lost in the penultimate corner. Jeez, if he did, that is incredibly unlucky. Tires died. And it's Connor for the win. Who's your driver of the day? I actually think it's going to be Elmo. Let's see, because Venus driver. Oh yeah, I don't really want to put Motosolver on driver of the day for this race, considering he's been involved in 2 incidents. I think Elmo. He's been utterly clean this entire race. Somehow finishing in 2nd place. It's got to be the Aston Martin for me personally. Started 6th, finishes in 2nd. A good race for him. And that will be it. Solid, consistent drive, to be fair. You gotta respect the people who just stay out of trouble and get rewarded for it. And so will be Aston Martin. Thank you very much for the commentary. Thank you very much for the viewers who tuned in onto this live stream. I believe if I was paying attention, max 9 viewers, but it's been an amazing race with a few incidents here and there, which I imagine will be going straight to the tickets. And I'll see you all next week, what's the calendar looking like? Let me see what the calendar is for. Calendar. Where is the calendar? The calendar. Next race will be at Austria for a sprint race. That's going to be hectic, considering the reverse format as well. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you all next time.